G'day YouTube, Turbo Tristan here. Today's video, we're going to be using this area here as kind of like a newsroom storyboard. I'm going to teach you guys how to use Facebook Marketplace and how not to use Facebook Marketplace. There's going to be tons of butthurt people, and we're going to talk about some really weird facts out of Japan and why buying a JDM car isn't always the best option. So quite a lot different to what I normally do. Today will be just me, this background here, my pointy stick, and you at home, and we're going to learn some things about how to use Marketplace and how not to use Marketplace, how to sell a car, how not to sell a car, how to sell car parts, and how not to sell car parts online. Now, I have a little bit of experience with this. I'm certainly no expert, but I did sell cars as my everyday job 7 days a week for close to 13, 14 years. And I sold brand new cars. We normally did a lot of stuff with trade-ins. We bought and sold used cars on the side. And I've been around the car scene since around about 1998. So these gray hairs here, they're not just for show. I am an old codger. What I'm going to do is, hopefully I speak for a lot of people by highlighting some of these things that people do online when they're selling a car on Marketplace. Trust me, I'm definitely guilty of most of these things. I've done them all. I'm a very passionate person, and I do get involved in things when I probably shouldn't do, and I try not to comment, but sometimes I can't help myself. Things are either too ridiculously overpriced, underpriced, people are just asking or saying the wrong things, and I try and be as diplomatic as possible and stay out of it, but sometimes it doesn't work in my favor. I just have to say something, and yeah. So as most of you guys know, I do buy and sell quite a few cars. We mod them, we flip them, we sell them, we get them in. I do plan on doing some videos in the future explaining what we paid for the cars, what we spent on the cars, how much power they made, etc., and then what we sold them for or swapped them for. So if you want to see more about that, comment down below and I'll respond to you, and maybe I can use your story in another video in the future. One thing that I'm definitely guilty of is being a bit too emotional, too sensitive online. Sometimes I get involved and I comment back and get into some keyboard warrior stuff online, and it's the biggest thing that I try not to do as much as possible. And I just find that Facebook and Marketplace and all that sort of stuff brings out the worst in me, whereas here on YouTube it's one big happy family, and I really enjoy teaching people things that I know, learning from other people, trying things out and learning things for myself. So in this video we're going to talk about buying used cars and selling used cars as well as car parts online on Marketplace. I'm going to be popping up some pictures here that I've screenshotted from Facebook just off my phone just this afternoon. So any of these posts that you see here, I've taken out the names, the location, the time. I've tried to blur out number plates and things like that. So if you see anything, I'm not having a direct shot at anyone. I'm just using it as an example. Here we go. I'm going to read off my phone, and then through the magic of TV and editing, I'm going to post it up right here so you guys know what I'm talking about or looking at. The first major thing is how to list a car for sale or a car part. It's all about photos, what you're saying and what you're listing, and the price. The price is really, really important because so many people do the old $1 or free or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4. What? There's no point to do that. It doesn't help or benefit anyone. Let's get stuck into it, shall we? The first one we're going to get into is a 1996 Holden Commodore. For anyone overseas, that is like a Crown Vic or a Chevy SS, something like that. It's just a basic sedan that was used for taxis, police cars, general family executive cars, government cars. They were very, very common and they were everywhere. At one stage, you couldn't get rid of them even if you wanted to. Now they're worth money because they don't make Holdens in Australia anymore. And that was Holden was kind of the one thing that we did have left in the dying days of manufacturing cars in Australia. So for anyone that doesn't know what one is, it was our own brand of car, backed by GM. So this person's listed here, price 1234. No photos of the car. It's a really crap photo of the car, and I've cut out the person's name and everything so it doesn't show on here, but they didn't list anything about the car. It just said, if you want any parts, message me. Now, if this was super rare and desirable and everyone was wanting parts off this car, this person would be getting a billion messages of, is this available, and random stuff. It would be quite frustrating, and I know from my experience as a seller, getting messages asking random stuff about, is that available, or do you have this, when it's clearly not listed or not in the photos or not written in the description, is really, really frustrating. Now, the next one is a 1990 Toyota Camry. Again, same sort of thing, a very, very basic, plain, ordinary, average car. This particular one has only 140,000 kilometers on it. It's a 1990 model, so it's coming up on 32 years old. Makes you feel old at home, doesn't it? Now, these cars were between $20,000 and $30,000 brand new. It's now 30 years old. It does have very, very low kilometers, but they're asking $6,000 for it. It looks neat. There's a couple of photos. Nothing exciting about the car. It's not even a special edition or anything. It doesn't have a fancy engine or anything else besides its low Ks. Now, normally, if this was on a forum group or a JDM car group or some kind of enthusiast group, people would roast the crap out of this person for putting $6,000 on the price of this car. Like, you can buy so many more newer, nicer, better, safer, better on fuel, more powerful cars for $6,000. This person thinks that because their car has only 139,000 kilometers, that it's something special, and it should be still worth a third of its value after 30 years, which they're dreaming. The thing that you don't want to do is get on there and flame that person. Just keep your comments to yourself, move along. They'll never sell that car. They're going to get buried in that car. They're going to die in that car. Which brings me to my next point about kilometers, what's considered high and what's considered low. Some people freak out when a car gets to 100,000 Ks and they ditch it, burn it, offload it, whatever they can do to it. Other people, they hold on to them forever until they go to the moon and back, which is about 300 and something thousand kilometers. The average Australian drives around 15,000 kilometers per year. So if you do the quick maths, so in actual fact, this car should have around 420,000 kilometers on it. So, maybe they are right for asking that kind of money. The next one is another what not to do. This is a 2002 Hilux. The kilometers seem around right. The price seems reasonable. Yet their first picture is just of the back seat of the car. That's not going to grab anyone's attention. It grabbed my attention for the wrong reasons. It was really, really dumb. If you want to grab people's attention and you want to sell a car for good money, you probably should put some nice photos on there. So always take nice photos, arrange them in order so that people see what they're getting, then see what some of the special features are throughout the build or throughout the car so that they know what they're getting. Don't start with a picture of your crusty old seat belts and the back seat, which has some questionable stains on there. What you really should do is make sure your car's clean, vacuumed, put it in a nice location that's not out the front of your house, because otherwise people can find out where you are. And if it's a particularly nice car, they could take that photo, put it into Google Images. It'll find on Google Maps where your house is, and then they can go and find where your car is, and when you're not around, they can steal it. So take the photos in an industrial area, in a park, in a field, in a car park. Doesn't matter where you go, your local Macca's, doesn't matter, as long as the car's clean, it's been vacuumed, all of your personal junk's out of it, and it's not at your house. So definitely make sure you do that. Honest descriptions, as much information as possible. Some of the features, some of the pros, some of the cons. It always pays to be honest, because you're going to get found out in the end. So make sure you tell the truth on your ads. List any marks or scratches. Another thing for the buyers, that's you guys, is don't just PM offers, is this available? Will you take a quarter of what you're asking? Like say if you're asking $10,000 for your car, don't just say, will you take 2.5 grand cash today, bro? Without, you haven't seen the car, you haven't spoken to the person, you've never met them before, you don't know them from a bar of soap, and you don't know the car. So why would you in your right mind offer a dumb price that's a quarter of the cost of what the person's asking, and to just go straight to a lowball offer? It doesn't do you any favors because that person just goes, dickhead, and then so they're most likely not going to reply, or you're going to start with some cuss words or fighting. The second thing is, you haven't even seen the car. So what if they did say yes? You've now committed to buying a car for a stupid price. You haven't even seen it. You might not even like it. So make sure when you are looking to buy a car that you always message the person, hey mate, is it still available? If it is, I'd like to book a time to come down and check it out on this day, on this time. Are you free? And do you accept a trade? Whatever it is. Do you like cash, bank check? How do you like payment? Let them know that you're serious and that you want to buy the car. And then when you get down there, you'll be in a much, much better position to negotiate, because cashola, money in the hand, or someone standing in front of you with a check or money or a trade is a much more likely to get attention, and you get a deal done if you're there in person. Smashing out prices over Facebook Messenger doesn't prove anything, doesn't help anyone, doesn't help you, and it just makes you look dumb. So don't do that. And I know what people are going to say, oh, but my budget was only like 2.5 grand, but I really like the car and I want to see if they'll take the deal. No, they won't take the deal. They're not going to take the deal. If they wanted to sell the car for 2.5 grand, they'd probably advertise it for 3 grand. Then it'd be in your ballpark. Don't look at cars that are 4 times the price of what you have in your pocket. I'm not rubbishing anyone for not having money, because I don't have any money myself right now, which is why I'm making YouTube videos. But if you don't have the money, don't go shopping. It's as simple as that. If you want to spend 3 to 5 grand, look at cars between 0 and 5 or 6 grand. Don't go looking at $15,000 cars. It's really dumb. Why would you do that? Stupid. Brings me to another point. If you see a car that you feel is worth like $10,000 and it's advertised for $50,000, just have a laugh to yourself. Maybe the laugh emoji if you're feeling like a bit passive aggressive. Otherwise, just move on. That person, it's happened to me 50 times this week because I'm trying to recoup some money that we've spent on cars and listing it for what I think is a reasonable price, and turns out it might not be. You know the deal if you've seen the ads and seen the comments and stuff like that. So unless you're wanting to buy the car, don't start flaming or haggling or whatever in the comments. What are you going to be, a hero for someone else? And they're going to go, oh yeah, sorry bud, you're right. I will sell the car for a quarter of the price, but you're not even going to buy it. So who did that benefit? No one. It cost the dude money and you didn't get anything out of it. Now the next couple are car parts listings. The first one, car parts. Real specific, bros. $50 in stock. Yeah, cool story, bro. It's a whole pile of junk. I did read the comments. There weren't any. Surprise, surprise. Message me with what you want and I'll let you know if I have it and how much, thanks. Are they for a bus, a van, a Commodore, a Falcon, a Civic, a I don't even know. They could be freaking GTR parts. I'm never gonna know. I'm not gonna inquire because it just looks like a waste of time and the person has no clue what they're doing. That is a crap load of stuff, and I can assure you that 92% of that is absolute trash and no one wants it. I can see some dash clusters, brake boosters, some interior trim. That sort of stuff might be okay. Used brake rotors, come on. Just random crap, get rid of it. Chuck most of it out, stop hoarding. The next one, my favorite, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bulk car parts and more in stock. There's some classic old school bumpers in there, which will be worth quite a bit of money to the right buyer. Again, unless you are a Hawkeye, know exactly what you want and recognize, oh yeah, oh my God, that's a 69 Valiant Pacer. Oh my God, there's a bumper. I want it, how much? You're never gonna know. So boxes of rubbers, awesome. Some tail lights, awesome. Interior trims and things, excellent. Do yourself a favor, spend a day, spend a weekend cleaning them all, giving them a wipe over, spray some armor all on them, lay them out nicely, put them against something nice, a backdrop, whatever, take photos, list them. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. It's gonna take you a long, long time, but you're gonna make quadruple the money. You're gonna cut out about 3,000 messages from absolute flogs, and everybody wins. They know what they're getting, you know what you're selling, you can put prices, it'll save a lot of time wasters. This next one is a really, really good example. It says these parts are for a Subaru Forester, 2006, car parts, make an offer. And then it says free. Well, they're not free because you've said make an offer. The photo's great, everything looks clean, it's been perfectly laid out. We've got some interior pieces, steering wheel, tail lights, dash cluster, brakes, antennas, pedals. This guy's stripped a whole car by the looks of it, airbox, visors, lots of good stuff. Looks to be in really good condition. Make an offer, listed it as free. Now in the comments for this one, it just said, PM me what you're after. Why? There's at least 100 items there, and there's going to be 200 people messaging about all different things. Just do a post, bro. This part, steering wheel, lights, blah, 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 brakes, price. Simple. It'll take you an extra 5 minutes. It'll save you hours and hours and hours of time just dealing with stupid, is this available? Are they here? Do you have this? Like, do you have seats, bro? Like, I've listed things before and it'll show parts like this or other parts, and there'll be 10, 20 photos of all different things. No seats in the picture, no seats in the description, nothing about seats. Do you have seats, bro? If I had seats, they'd be in the bloody picture and they'd be listed for sale. Don't ask dumb questions. There's a lot of wreckers advertising cars on Marketplace, but you have a wrecking business for that. So, you know, whatever, bro, do your hustle, do your thing. That's cool. I'm not telling you how to make money or whatever, but if you're gonna go to the effort of posting these busted cars, this one's a 2000 model Lancer, car parts for sale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a picture of a whole car. That car was barely worth that much brand new. They're worth about 20 grand, so, you know, but it's been 22 years now. Listing it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know it's not a real number. We get it. You just 1, 2, 3. It doesn't mean anything. Okay. Probably start with a realistic price of like $2,000 for the whole car, or individual parts. Do yourself a favor. List a few things. Seats sold. Steering wheel's gone. The cluster's gone. But I do have door, $50. Back door, $50. Boot, $100. Bumpers, no scratches, $100. Windows, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, just list it out, man. Like, it's not going to take you that much longer. My favorite, free. It says parts. For just parts. Parts for anything. Free, in stock. Cool. Okay, went down, looked at the thing, looked at the comments, says, DM me for what you want. I want a Lamborghini, bro, for free. What do you think I want? Most people are going to recognize this as a Commodore wagon, a VT, VY, VX, something like that. Probably a VT, to be honest, which up until recently, the whole car was worth $500. Now, if it was a running, driving car, it might be $5,000 because of COVID and people are crazy and all that sort of stuff. Fair enough. If you're going to hoard cars in your backyard and you want to sell them, at least list what's for sale, what's been gone. Like, we know the front fender's gone. or the front guard, as we call it in Australia. List some stuff. Put some information in there. Here's another one. Holden, Bellina, all parts available. This person's even told us where they are. They're free and in stock. Again, message me for what you want. I'll DM you a price, bro. I don't know what's worse. Free, DM me a price, or 1, 2, 3, 4 and telling me that everything's all different pricing and the car's worth $1 anyway. So this one up here, I reckon has to take the cake. This is auto parts, car parts, auto parts, most parts. Pre-2004. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $123,456 for some cardboard boxes with some rolls of wire in them. Doesn't tell you anything. I looked down below again. Numpty Muppet wrote, PM me what you're after. I'll have a look and DM you a price. Bro. This one, Holden Commodore parts, 3 or 4 pictures, $1 in stock. Shows a picture of a wheel. You guys get the gist. So here's my tips on how to list parts or car parts for sale. I've gone briefly over it a little bit already, but firstly, make sure the items are clean, remove the dust, give them a pressure wash, whatever you want to do, clean them. Lay them out, make a list of what you got, or just save a note in your phone. Take photos of everything individually as much as you can. I know Facebook only lets you post a certain amount of photos. Tell the person when they can pick them up or when they can have a look at them, the suburb that you're in, the price individually for everything. And I know when you're selling multiple items, like you might have 100 things for sale, you're not going to put $24.50, but really you're only talking about a door handle or something. Yeah, you got to put a price. Just let's ditch the 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need it. I always like to do something a little bit different, a bit eye-catching. If I think that most of the car parts are going to be $100, I'll list it as $99 individually. But for the ad, I'll write 99, or if I'm feeling spicy, I'll write 69. Some people that are into it write 420 or whatever. That's a good one. If you're into that, I'm not. But you know, be a bit more realistic. If you're selling $1,000 worth of parts individually and there might be 50 items, you can put $1,000. Maybe someone wants to come and buy all of it for $1,000. Just be a bit more realistic with the number is all I'm saying. If you are selling a car or you have a car for sale or you like to frequent the car groups and forums like JDM sales, Drift sales, Evo sales, Chaser sales, Super sales, Skyline spares, Skyline sales, WRX parts, whatever it is that you're into, Commodore bits, Falcon bits, Barra swaps, whatever it is. If you are on any of those groups and you aren't selling anything, regardless of the price, stay out of it, keep your mouth shut, move on, scroll on, nothing to see here. You're not going to win any friends or do anyone any favors by roasting people's listings. Trust me, I know I have roasted people's listings. People have roasted my listings. I don't feel good when I do it. I don't know why. It's just an emotion thing. I get a bit carried away and I really wish that I didn't do that. And I usually within about a couple of hours, I go and delete my comment anyway, because it just wasn't helping anyone and it did more harm than good. And people do it to me all the time. They complain about the price or roast me, and you know, there's all these funny things like, oh, moments before we did this post, this person smoked meth or whatever it is. I've posted them, people have posted them to me. It doesn't help anyone. If someone is doing something stupid like posting an imported Skyline that says it's got 70,000 Ks on the clock, which I can tell you for a fact is bullcrap, or that it's never been in an accident, which I can tell you for a fact is bullcrap, or that it has these parts or was running when they last started it, 10 years ago, all bull crap. And they're asking $30, $40, $50, $60,000 for a GTST Auto NA 4-door. Just go about your business. Just move along. That person is definitely smoking something not worth your time. Unless you really want to buy it, and then go back all the way back to the other point I made about make a time, meet up, go see the person, bring your money, bring your friends, bring your gang, whatever it is you want to, just so you feel in your safe space. So you can negotiate with that person and then buy the car. Now, this is where we talk facts, and I'm going to throw them up here on your screen. So this is the thing about buying a local car, whether you're in America, Indonesia, Australia, UK, wherever you are in the world. If the car was bought and sold locally, then you're going to find history with the car, and you're also going to be able to track it. That will be registered with the VIN number for the life of the vehicle. So if it's ever been an accident, you can do PPSR reports, all that sort of thing to find out if what the seller is telling you is true. There's this whole JDM fanboy thing about, oh, it's a JDM import, it's worth more money, you've got to pay me 5 times what the same thing was worth here in Australia or wherever you are, because this one came from Japan. So here's some facts right here. So in Japan, and you all would have seen videos and TikToks and whatever, viral videos online of floods just wiping away these hectic JDM garages with all your wet dream cars just sliding away down a hill in the mud and getting lost in the water, floods, volcano eruptions, earthquakes, all these types of things. All your favorite R34 Paul Walker dream fantasies are just floating down the river. You would have seen videos online of it, I'm certain. If somehow the car that you're buying did not get flooded or drowned or crashed or buried under 50 feet of lava, don't ask me how they could repair that, but whatever. Here's a fact here that in Japan, every single year, they have 1,500 earthquakes. So that's every day there's a couple of earthquakes. A day. Every day, a few earthquakes. So if your dream Hachiroku or R34 or 180SX somehow managed to go 32 years, get all the way to Australia and never be crushed or damaged or anything in an earthquake, that would have to be a miracle. This means that Japan experiences more earthquakes than just about anywhere else, around 1,500 per year. Japan's long list of earthquakes date back over 1,000 years. When earthquakes occur below or near the ocean, they may trigger tidal waves, which is what floods your car out. And that's just from a quick Google search. Another fact for you. What is the average mileage? Well, in Japan, they use kilometers, so get with the times, people that use miles. According to the Federation Internazionale di Automobili, a car in Japan travels a yearly average of over 9,300 kilometers or nearly 6,000 miles. That would mean a 1990 Skyline, doesn't matter which model, in 2022, if it was imported over here, would have about 320,000 kilometers on it as an average. Sure, there's barn finds, even though they don't have barns in Japan. But anyway, but as a rule of thumb, most people do nearly 10,000 kilometers, 30 years, 320,000 kilometers. So I'm sick of seeing these people online thinking that their JDM turbo whatever's never had an accident. It's a class 5 car, A grade import, blah, blah, blah. Never had the clock wound back. It's never had any accident history, yet somehow it's survived. Yet somehow the car's managed to survive 48,000 earthquakes. Yep, I did the maths. 48,000 earthquakes in its 32 years. And it's also only driven 60,000 kilometers as opposed to the 320,000 that it should have done. I would like to be positive in this world And I would like to think that all Japanese businessmen are like this guy. Nice, sweet, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. But ever heard of organized crime, Yakuza? These guys exist. They still buy and sell and rebirth and reshell cars, doing a lot of organized crime in Japan. So people that think that JDM is better are kidding themselves. If they're trying to sell you their JDM imported junk, just remember that it's had to have survived in 30 years if it's that old. 48,000 earthquakes, several floods, several tsunamis, volcano eruptions, all that sort of stuff. Yakuza rebirthing, organized crime, drift missile bashing, smashing into guardrails at 320 k's an hour in the midnight runs, all that sort of stuff. It ain't worth that sort of money. But hopefully you liked this video. Hopefully it didn't drag on too much. Hopefully I didn't sound like a cranky old man whilst making it, but I just wanted to help educate the world, give some tips, some pointers about what to do, what not to do, and hopefully everyone can be selling cars, making money, moving on to achieving all their goals that they want with their project cars. And yeah, just having a good time enjoying cars like I do. People always ask me if I'm a crazy Honda boy, and I never was. It's written in my bio down below. Always been a Nissan guy, got Nissan Blood, but I just can't afford them anymore because the prices have gone crazy. And yeah, I'm that guy who complains about the price that I can't afford anyway. But my advice is just leave it, don't comment, stay off there. If you do want to buy the car and you think it is a little bit overpriced, meet the person, see the car for yourself, take it for a drive or let them drive you around, check it out in person, bring your money, have your money ready, and then you can negotiate a deal. One of the best things that I ever did when I bought my R33 GTR is I traveled 8 hours on a bus. It was about a 6-hour car ride, but an 8-hour bus ride. I was determined to buy this GTR. I had a check written out for a certain amount in my pocket, and I had a certain amount of cash in my other pocket. And I sat on that bus. I went all the way there. It took me a whole day to get there. Met the guy, went around the car, offered him a price, held my hand out until he either said no or yes. Turned out he said yes. We shook, swapped money, swapped signed papers, and I drove the car home. I actually learned that trick off wheeler dealers. Throw your offer out there, throw your hand out there, and just wait. Say nothing until they either shake your hand or walk away, or come back with a counter offer. That's my best advice. Hopefully this helped you guys out. Hopefully you'll see a decline in 1, 2, 3, 4. I know what I got. Don't DM me with low balls, blah, blah, blah. If it's listed, don't ask if it's available, all that sort of crap that you see. There used to be heaps of places you could look to buy and sell things. Now, pretty much Marketplace is the one and only thing, and it's the thing that's keeping Facebook going and alive. It's the only thing people use it for is Marketplace and car groups or hobby groups, whatever it is that you're into. So we need to learn how to use it properly. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, like, comment, tell me your horror stories, tell me your bargain stories, all in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Oh, and don't forget to spool up.